No, you bet. Stay there. Please.
I shouldn't be barking commands.
So my name is Michael Roberson Reid. I'm the executive director of Treehouse Books. Lauren Macaluso Pop is our program director. We wanted to thank Mr. Osaluka for collaborating with us, partnering with us. I have gum in my mouth. I know I'm not supposed to do that. Sorry about that. But thank you for taking on this project. And we've known each other for a little bit, and we've had a chance to talk about the motivation for this. And so I truly admire, as I said before, you're working to really bridge two seemingly disparate worlds. And to a certain degree, I mean, they're more than seemingly disparate. I mean, like, you know, there's some stark differences, but you know, someone once said that there's no such thing as unrealistic goals, there's just unrealistic timelines. So sometimes it just takes a while to get these things together, and sometimes it takes someone to sort of figure out the algorithm of like, well, how do these pieces come together? So that's what you're doing, and it's not easy. I mean, I'm sure you wrestle with that every day. Like, it's not. Even just to put the ideas on paper is not easy. So thank you for, you know, breathing new life into us. And so what I just want to say to the group and to the students particularly is I've worked at Treehouse for 7 years, and I've gone to lots of community events and lots of different meetings, and I've read articles and read blog posts, you know, about education and everything that's like happening. And I'm very selective with the events that I go to and with the people that I interact with and the people that I seek opinions from, because they're, at least, I don't know, maybe it's a reflection on me, but it seems that a lot of the people that I seem to like draw into my world spend like hours and hours and hours and hours talking about like why things won't work, like why they're going to fail, why they're horrible, why they are ill-conceived, why they won't be supported. And I really want to say to people, like, if you just didn't even say anything for this 2 hours, like, the world would be better off. Not that you're like a bad person, but I mean, but it's I don't see what it benefits to discuss why things won't work, unless it's from the standpoint of like, oh, that might have shortcomings, so this is what we can do to make up for that, you know. But that's not what people are doing. And so, you know, what I want to say is, and I've been thinking about this a lot myself. One of the challenges I've been trying to get back to personally and professionally, and I swear this all ties into what we're doing. I'm not just talking to hear myself speak. One of my challenges has been to, you know, sort of get back to the mindset that I had when I was your age. Because in the line of work that we're in, there's just lots of people, you hear lots of like, that can't happen, this is unrealistic, this da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And anything that you hear over and over and over again, I mean, it's impossible not to internalize. And so one of the things, you know, I've really learned is like, okay, well, the challenge is sort of take the relentless optimism that I had when I was 14, 15, 16, and 17, mesh it with like the reality that I see being a 36-year-old and living as an adult in a remarkably different environment than what I grew up in. And, you know, how do I mesh those two together? Like, how do I say, okay, this is what I know is possible because I've seen it. This is what's happening now because I'm seeing it now. This is where I and many other people want to go. So what's the formula that we have to put together? What are the equations that gets us there? And so really just more than anything, you know, I want the whole GA community to really like understand the amazing resource that you guys are. Because honestly, I mean, I've been to countless events, meetings, think tanks where 1/10 of the ideas that you presented aren't presented by people that get paid to do this, that are supposedly professionals, and that really pride themselves on like, I'm a solver of problems. So, I mean, like everything that Lauren said is true. I mean, like some of these ideas we never would have thought of. You know, some of these ideas are things that like we kind of thought of, but you know, but we fall victim to the like, oh yeah, like nah, like that's impossible. Like it's not going to work. Like why should we even bother? So, you know, and you know, you guys don't like have to do this. You know, I mean, and the other thing that I've learned is that ideas like this only come out of passion. Like you can't force someone under pressure to come up with ideas like this. So, just on behalf of Treehouse Books, I want to say thank you to you, the students, and I want to say thank you to all of the adults that have created this ecosystem for these students to live this life, because nothing happens in isolation. And so, working with children for 7 years, I see firsthand how, because you're not children, but working with young people, I see firsthand how young people are really a reflection of the adults around them. So, clearly the adults around you are like really on point. So, thank you. And I know I've talked way too long, but if you guys just have any questions about, what you want to learn more about what Treehouse is about, you can talk to Lauren and I individually, or we have our cards, and you can email us, arrange a time to visit. But thank you again, and Chitty, thank you so much. And I know that everyone knows this, but I would be remiss if I didn't plug this man, because you don't have to do what you're doing. Knowing what I know about you, and where you went to college. Not that you could stroll into Harvard and be a tenured professor tomorrow, but 10 years from now, yeah. And so I think it's again, we've talked, and there are lots of people that talk about stuff, but they don't actually do it. And especially as as someone who had some very great influential teachers that really, by their very nature, showed an image of activism or social justice or good work, however you want to define it. I know that was very inspiring for me, and it helped me get to the point where I am. So, yeah, you've really done something profound by just not just planting seeds in minds, because if it was just planting seeds, there wouldn't be all of this work. You really coaxed new ideas and new realities into existence. I think you're someone who sees truth. You see what's really happening, but you have your vision of well, this is your reality. And most people that make their mark on the world pretty much choose to ignore truth and forge their own reality, for good or for bad. Luckily, you're doing it for good, so we're very appreciative. So whoever's in charge of giving Chitty a raise.